That's good. I found a joint that was willing to ship canned meads.
What? Share.
So this one, I don't remember what the website was. Honestly, I found it through a Facebook ad. Like it popped up and was like, "We know you want this," and I went, "Oh yeah, I do actually." And they had like a collection of canned mead from the Vermont area. And this one, it's got a...
That's the first thing I think about when I think about Vermont.
Got a little crow, and it's a sour cherry mead. Delicious.
That sounds really good.
Why, hello, and welcome to session 18 of Murmurs at the Abyss in Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. I am your keeper, Stu. And we have players.
Nice.
I'm CADave. I say it like I just woke up, because I did.
Nice. I'm so jealous of your nap time.
Yeah, it was kind of nice. Then the alarm went off, and I was like, ah. But I'll be playing Dmitri Tupolev, the very out-of-place Russian soldier from World War I that has found his way to upstate New York in an attempt to stop a very bad group of people that want to summon Haster from the outer reaches.
Was it up pretty nicely?
I'm Jim, and I will be playing Isadore Holzman, our archaeologist and madman who has seen way too much and wishes that he saw far too little.
I am Pooja. I'm playing Camilla, a librarian who has a master plan for Tesla to become Einstein.
Wow. You guys have great stories. I'm Tyler. I'm playing Melvin Tanker. He's a bootlegger. That's it. He knows nothing.
Is he Jon Snow? Is that what you're telling me?
No, he's completely
I'm super
clueless.
Because anytime anybody shows up that doesn't know all about this stuff, that's when we have a yogurt dog incident.
Oh no. No more yogurt dog.
All right. Was that everyone? That is everyone, yes?
Yeah?
Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
I'm tweeting the notification that we're recording. Okay. Did someone want to summarize what happened a month ago?
It's so weird with the every 2 weeks, and then when we miss an episode, it's like, wait, what? We're playing this? Let's see.
Tyler, what's your character's name again?
Melvin Tanker.
Stu, your audio is really low.
Mine is, or everything?
Yes,
Just
yours
mine?
is. That is what
Is it better now?
James is saying. Yeah, it's just Stu. And talk more so he can figure out.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. I just turned it up some.
I'm gonna call that good.
I knew
Any louder and it might hurt my ears.
I once knew this Polish guy who was a sound engineer and a Czech one too.
God damn it.
Still low, really. Just me though, huh? That's weird.
You know, I joined the... Kimmy's like, hey, do you want to take my spot in the game? And I was like, is Stork playing? And she goes, no. I said, great. There won't be any stupid puns.
Have you met Stu?
It's my favorite.
I don't even know anymore.
All right. Any other? Are we ready for the
We ready
recap?
for a recap?
Ready.
Great. As we passed the point the Titanic sank, I set up a ward and attempted to enter the Dreamlands. Although I did not dream true, Doris and I were woken in the middle of the night. The wards had been tripped. Dmitri didn't see anything in his room, though the sea was treating him poorly. Doris checked the hallway as there was some commotion coming from there. The rest of the journey, but it turns out it was just really cold. Nothing eventful happened there, besides us all being super freaked out all night. Doris told me stories of her adventures until we both went back to bed. The rest of the journey went without incident, and we made our way back to New York. We headed to the telegraph office. The New York Times lead story was about Dawson Mines Widows Group converging on Washington, D.C. to demand better conditions for miners. Randolph Mason is their spokesperson and called for veterans to help protect the women in case of government violence. Doris sent out a call for if any of her friends had invites to the president's birthday party celebration that they might be able to give us. She got a response from Ophelia Sutton, and she obtained 2 tickets to the Warren party. We traveled back to Ravenhearse, a rather surreal experience after everything we'd been through. We left Edward's car at the port. No one wanted to steal his car while he was still out there somewhere. Isadore let Dmitri stay at his lodging. No one at the university had heard from Edward at all, which they were quite concerned about. I made up some story to tell them about him going off on his own research trip, because no one wanted to get into having been checked in forcibly into an asylum for several weeks. We decided to get Tesla a temporary professorship as Einstein.
Because they're so similar
Somebody's-
looking.
Whatever, nobody knows what he looks like. Also, I checked all the books out at the library that Einstein wrote, so no one could check just in case.
Hey, Jim, can you turn your volume up some more? Sorry, go ahead.
Not cool. Mr. Vasquez is the head of the Department of Mathematics, and Doris and I set out to convince him. Tesla was more concerned about teaching mathematics than posing as Einstein for any real reason. There are 3 weeks until the party, and we plan to further investigate Abigail's group. Not all were accounted for when we left. A messenger arrived to invite Einstein to dinner with the Chancellor. Isadore and Dmitri posing as his research assistant or valet, or a combination of the two, accompanied him to smooth over any problems. Doris has a an investigative reporter contact, Alexis Murphy. Isadore suggested that she reach out to her to find out more about Abigail's cadre. At the dinner, Isadore was able to convince the Chancellor to fully fund Tesla's work, thank goodness. I forged Einstein's signature in the professor's book, and Isadore wrote a note to go with it asking for a salary for Dmitri. And Tesla is quite set up now to begin to reconstruct the machine that takes us physically into the Dreamlands. I feel like I should stall more because I think Stu was talking to someone in real life. Do you want to tell us more about your character's backstory, Melvin Tinker?
There's very little to tell. I kept him incredibly bland and boring and vague. He's a bootlegger. He runs moonshine. because of Prohibition and how that's a horrible thing. Drives a Ford Model T because at the time, 3 out of 4 cars on the road are Model Ts, so they're super indistinguishable from one another. He's incredibly average looking. Actually, got maximum size and almost minimum on appearance. So, if not for the fact that he's the size of a gorilla, he would be very forgettable.
I have connections to the Sugarcane Club in the city. Do you want that to be kind of your connection to the group in a little way? So would that help?
That would be a fantastic connection. Let me find my sheet and mark that down.
Aw, that was it.
Yeah, I boosted some things up. How does that sound?
That's
Oh,
so
that sounds
much fun.
fantastic.
Much clearer.
Perfect.
Cool.
Where is Marvin from?
Marvin is from New Jersey.
Okay.
I thought your name was Melvin.
Oh, sorry.
Melvin.
Melvin. And it says
It
Marvin.
was almost Marvin.
It's Marvin on your character sheet.
Did I write Marvin on the character sheet?
Marvin Tinker, yeah. I'll make a mental note that it's Melvin.
It's on my sheet too, so yes. It was supposed to be Marvin. They're right next to each other on the list of names I used.
Well, that makes it rather confusing, doesn't it?
Oh, and just so you guys don't think Melvin is a total loser, he's also really into close-up magic.
Like,
Oh, you're gonna be real close up to some magic then.
like the
like
kind where
card
you
tricks?
stick a pencil through a piece of paper.
Exactly.
Oh,
Like I can make a quarter disappear. And then it's in Dave's ear.
fantastic.
Okay,
Right.
so where we last left the game, you guys were still at Ravenhearse, if
Yes.
my understanding is correct.
It was basically just the end of that night where they went to dinner and we had set up stuff with the dealt with the book and getting Dmitri some money.
Okay, all right. Is there? I'm sure there's a speakeasy in. Let's see. Norwich, New York.
Probably.
Because
We were just talking about having a connection with that Melvin would have a connection with the Sugarcane Club.
Right. I
Since
figured
we already
that's
have one
probably
there.
how you know him.
Yeah,
But I'm just trying to accelerate
getting together.
party unity. And we'll assume that Doris the Explorers had to go on a book signing tour or something. Her publisher got pissed that she was gone for 3 months, right after she just released a book.
So yeah,
Okay.
why don't we go to the city to look up one of Abigail's cadre?
Alrighty.
And that way, I mean, we're just gonna leave Tesla, working on making his machine,
Right.
and hopefully not attempting to teach class.
He will avoid that at all costs.
Good.
Does one?
Can I find a graduate student that would be willing to take over those duties on the interim? Somebody.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So I'll just find some young person that's a graduate student that is, highly regarded in physics and see if he could actually go in there and sort of be a TA and take over teaching duties while he's working on that project
Okay.
and
yeah.
try to make things a little bit easier for him that way.
Yeah, that's easy. For the time being. I mean, at some point, Someone's going to wonder why they're paying this guy to.
We're just stalling, so I'm just trying to
I
get.
mean, we've got what, 3 weeks until we got like a month until classes start up again, right?
I would think
'Cause
at
it's-
least, yeah.
It is currently July 24th.
Right. Yeah,
So if I don't know when classes start up, like I'm so used to the early September thing now.
Well, we'll assume they start September 1st or something. Somewhere like that. Okay.
Cool.
So you guys are going to head to New York? Does one of you have a car now? Did you guys get one, or
We took a cab.
you took a cab? Okay. You take the train in or something?
Yeah, I'm certain we could find some way.
Okay. Or do you want to take a cab?
I think the train would be less expensive and probably draw less attention.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, it makes sense that we would just take the train back over.
Well, that's you.
Especially since Doris isn't here to foot the bill for the cab.
yeah, all of our rich people are gone. This sucks.
That's what I was just realizing.
What's your credit score, Melvin? It's important.
20.
Oh, we're the least successful bootlegger ever.
I have $40.
All right, guys, we're gonna have to rob a bank.
He's a small business owner, that's all.
Yeah, it suddenly became a resource-deprived group.
The max for a bootlegger is only 30.
Is it really?
It's so low.
Wow.
What? Why?
Because I'm not the one making it, I'm just the one delivering it.
Oh, you were the delivery person,
Yes.
not the like full on.
No.
You're not Nucky Thompson.
It's
You're
the leg, not the foot, not the boot.
Okay.
I just read a series of urban fantasy novels set in the 20s, like about a bootlegging family in San Francisco. They were rich as hell.
Yeah, if
Just
you
some good
control
old
the
boys.
empire, there's money. But if you're just the one who drives,
Just some good old boys that never mean no harm. Beats all you ever saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
All right. Okay. So you guys head into the city, and you are in the city. What is my computer? Really weird.
hello, New York. We have returned to see you again.
Who is, I guess, you know what? I'm gonna suggest we go to the club and I can ask Sophia while I'm there if she's heard of any of these other people that were on the list of Abigail's friends
Okay.
and where they might be.
All right.
And that'll just make things easier.
Okay. So you head to the Sugarcane Club? Is it the Sugarcane Club? right?
Yes.
Okay. You head to the Sugarcane Club, and they are receiving a delivery by the back alley. Do you have a physical description of your character besides the fact that he's enormous?
it's enormous and forgettable.
Okay.
Just a very bland, dull face. But he's huge. He's like Luther from Umbrella Academy.
That's kind of
You don't
frightening.
watch Umbrella Academy still?
I watched the first season. I haven't gotten around to watching it. It's been a long time.
My wife says she doesn't even know you anymore. I said, hey, he's written 3 books in quarantine, so...
I have.
But yeah, there's just a big dude unloading some crates of what look to be vegetables.
Yeah. Because they serve so many salads there.
It's like baguettes and carrot greens sticking out like a Hollywood grocery bag.
Yes.
One
same
giant
baguette.
leak. I know you, right? I think I've met you before.
Probably, yeah.
So, hey Melvin, how's it going?
Oh, hey, not bad.
Business good?
The lights are on.
Always a plus. Is Sophia around?
I just got here, so I have no idea. Hey, Stu.
This is the kid leaves at the worst times.
All right, I'm GM.
Hello.
now. Yeah, she's here.
Great.
Who are your friends?
Oh, this is Isadore and Dmitri. Isadore, Dmitri, this is Melvin. We go back a ways, actually.
Pleased to meet you. I take out my hand to shake.
He shakes your hand with his giant gorilla paw.
Hoy, you're a big one.
I get that a lot.
I'm sure you do.
This
As long
is
as
too
the
early
ladies
for me
say
to
it
ask
too,
if you play
right?
basketball. I will instead say hello. It is nice to meet you, Melvin.
Are you Italian?
No, I have never been to Italy.
Oh, I just thought the accent sounds
Yes,
Italian.
I am from Russia. I have just arrived in this country.
Welcome.
We came on a beautiful ship. At first I was very sick, for the ocean is large. But then, I do not know if you know the secret, but there are these little tiny crackers. I ate some of these crackers and was all better. It was like magic. If you ever get upset stomach, eat the crackers.
Good advice.
Okay.
Wish they had worked out better for Isadore.
Things tend to not.
Okay. Well, I'll catch up with you in a little bit.
Hey, no, you've been around. Have you been around New York for the past couple of months, like in the city?
Up and down, yeah.
Have you noticed anything odd or strange, like a lot of insects someplace, or people gathering doing weird stuff? Has there been anything that's been sort of like, I don't know, just a little odd
Let me tell
at
you,
all?
there are always weird groups of people in New York City.
Yes, but a lot of the weirdness is to be expected.
Are you expecting a different kind of weird, or just the normal, everyday weirdness?
Well, I'm.
No. Like unusual weirdness. Like, you know, like rituals, people running around thinking like with a weird symbol.
Or people dying from odd, like foreign diseases about? Has there been any type of medical situation that you know of?
As you
Like-
say foreign diseases, I take a step away from Dave.
It was just upset stomach. Magic crackers make better.
I don't want a foreign disease.
It's all right. You just make mud for a little while. It's fine.
I just slacked you.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything about insects, but the rats have been really bad lately. I guess they ate a guy in Central Park.
What?
Ugh.
Like, I heard
Okay.
it was super quick, like less than a minute, down to the bone.
That does not seem accurate for rats.
That
They
sounds
nibble.
like rat piranhas.
And it was just the one person?
That's all I've heard about. I mean, that's
When
all
was
anyone's
that?
really talking about. Hang on, let me try to remember.
I see you have a car. Is that
Yeah.
yours or for work?
Oh no, this is mine, and it's for work.
Would it be
But she's all
possible to maybe hire you to take us some places occasionally? We're in the middle of a large project that requires travel, and the people that had a vehicle in our group have since left. And cabs are really expensive, but maybe we might be able to work something out.
Yeah, I mean, this is my last delivery that I got scheduled, so I'm free for a little bit. How long are you thinking?
Well, it'd be sort of on and off while we're coming in and out of New York. Just there's some things and some people we need to talk to around here. It'd just be a lot easier to get around if we had somebody to just simply take us from point A to point B.
It would be at least the next month.
Yeah.
Steady work.
Yeah, I could do that. That could be fun. A lot less cops, you know what I mean?
I mean,
Isadore sort
if
of
the
looks
heat's on
around,
you.
to see if anybody else is listening in, and he goes, "I have to be completely fair and honest with you."
No. I'm just gonna say, like, Isadore, you're terrible at negotiation, and cut right in over you.
I'm just saying that
Melvin, we've got a bunch of places to go, and like there are times when we're gonna need you a lot, and there are times when like it's gonna be less. But we all stay out by Ravenhearse University. So to be honest, we could be asking you to go back and forth to Ravenhurst. Is that all right still?
Yeah, that's fine.
Great.
I mean, if you're paying for the gas, we're good.
well, of course, we would pay for the resources and a little bit extra for yourself. Of course, we can't afford much, but it'd definitely be something for you to do while you're not working on your other projects or jobs or whatever it is you have going on.
Projects.
It's difficult for me to not be rude sometimes. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Sounds like fun.
It'll be a blast. It'll be good to spend some more time with you.
I'm trying to get a range of what like jobs pay, but he gives you an amount. It seems really low.
So we instantly take him up on his offer, I suppose.
Yeah, basically. We're all broke as hell.
Yeah.
Like, Dmitri doesn't even technically have a job yet. We haven't gotten an answer back.
Yeah, my mighty credit at 30. Woo!
Yeah, that's what I got to.
Ravenhearse does not pay well.
You guys have hit on the one trait I actually included on my character sheet, which is overly generous to the working class.
Well, shall we try and see if you can find your friend?
I think so.
So, gasoline was 22 cents a gallon this year.
Oh, that's depressing.
Well, the price of petroleum distillate has come up.
Oh, though I will say, like, when I started driving in Louisiana, the price of gas was under $1 a gallon still.
Oh yeah, it was 97 cents a gallon, and that was in Inland Empire when I was a kid.
And then now I was really excited to see it under $4 a gallon.
So yeah, let's go inside and see if we can find your friend.
Yeah, let's find Sophia.
Okay. And she's there.
And I'm going to ask... What's that?
She's taking inventory of all of the stuff that Melvin brought in.
So, Melvin, your car's a Model T?
Yep.
Okay. 10-gallon gas tank. Approximately 20 miles per gallon.
Ooh. I am going to ask her about Gramstone, Mary Duncan, and if she knows, like, if she's ever heard or seen about Pierce Murray. Because he's an actual, like, he's in Manhattan. And it looks like he's also not dead yet.
Which ones were you asking about, sorry?
Oh, I just flipped off that page.
Murray?
Well, first of all, like, hey, is it true about the dude who got eaten by rats in Central Park?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. It happened about 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
They think he... At first they thought that someone may have dumped the body there and then the rats ate it. But now they think that, like, there's something, maybe he was sleeping or something, because they didn't find any wounds or any sort of injuries that would, apart from being eaten alive. You know, like, there was no, like, cracked skull and no, like, bullet wounds or anything like that. They just kind of chewed on him.
How sick do you have to be to sleep through rats eating you?
I don't know.
Do they know who he was?
Yeah, they had his name in the paper. I don't remember it.
You are super quiet again.
I am?
Yes.
Is that better?
Yes.
She doesn't. I don't remember his name. I saw it in the newspaper though.
Michael
About 3 weeks
Prescott.
ago?
The rat guy, Michael Prescott.
Oh. Cool. And I am going to ask her about Pierce Murray, Mary Duncan, Gramstone.
Oh, Pierce Murray. She's never heard of Pierce Murray. Graham Stone. Wow, get that roll. And she says, that name sounds familiar. There was some, like, ant guy. It was upstate. It wasn't that far from where you guys are.
Ant guy?
Yeah, he had some kind of weird ant. Like, a bunch of them. And they think he released them for some reason.
Oh.
Some kind of bulldog ants. And they killed him, but they killed, like, I don't know, I don't remember. It was quite a few people.
Wow. When was that?
About 2 weeks ago. $20 people.
Man.
More than 20 people were killed.
He released ants that killed 20 people?
Yeah. Apparently they're from Australia.
Man, you gotta watch out for that foreign stuff, don't you?
Oh, I hear that's a whole continent that just wants to kill everyone that lives there.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do when it's all populated by, convicts?
I wonder if that's why they put them there.
Because of the bugs?
Well, I think there's a bunch of stuff there that's supposed to be dangerous, right? There's like all kinds of poisonous creatures and things there.
That's what I heard, but I mean, not like I'm ever gonna make it to Australia, am I?
Oh, I don't know if I'd ever want to go there. Not if the ants kill people.
No kidding.
If the ants kill people, what would the, like, coyotes do?
Take your baby.
Wow. And
Hey, how proud you are of yourself for that.
and so okay, so out of character, she's never heard of Pierce Murray and Mary Duncan.
Pierce Murray, she's never heard of. Mary Duncan. She says the name sounds familiar, but she can't remember where she heard it.
Oh. Thanks for your help, love.
Of course.
And if you don't mind, we're borrowing your driver for a little while.
Oh, I'm going to be good for a couple weeks. That's fine.
Perfect. So, powwow with y'all. So, Gramstone 2 weeks ago, he released another plague. It's very similar to what happened with the locusts. She'd heard something about Mary Duncan but couldn't place it. I think it's worth checking the newspapers for the last month while we were gone. Stuff seems to be coming to a head. I have gotten so much more southern since we've been gone.
These more of the cultists?
Yeah. There were a bunch of people working with Abigail, and they've been sacrificing themselves to release all of these things in the lead up. Maybe if we can stop the last of the sacrifices, we can stop whatever's happening here.
Okay.
Sacrifices?
I was saying that maybe if we can stop whatever the last of the sacrifices this group is doing, we can stop whatever's coming to a head for Abigail's plans.
Any form of disruption would be good, I think.
But I think we should check the newspapers for the last month.
Okay. Where would we go? It's a library we'd go to for back issues of newspapers, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, there we go.
Okay.
Luckily, we have a professional.
It's my job.
Okay. So you guys go to the local library and go ahead and give me that library use.
Oh, yeah.
Can I assist her? Because I actually have a pretty good library use as well.
Yeah, I don't remember. What did we do? How did we handle that? Do you remember?
Extra 10s die.
Okay. All right. Sure.
I got a 13.
Holy shit. Okay. You find Mary Duncan. You realize that remember the small town you went to and they ended up setting the hotel on fire?
The one with
Yes.
that was the yellow fever, or scarlet
Yes,
fever.
Yellow fever, I think. They identified the remains of a woman inside there as a woman named Mary Duncan of New York City.
Okay.
That was the one that was on the bed, off the bed, on the bed.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, was there anything about Samuel Pearson there? Or, I mean, I could have just gotten the name. Pierce Murray? Sorry. I was like, I don't actually know if I got that name at all right.
Oh. Nope. Nothing.
Okay. Is he in any directories that I could find at the library?
Yes. Yeah, you find a listing, maybe like a telephone. What did they have telephone? They might have had telephone books back then. I don't know.
Was it all switchboards then still?
They might have been. I don't know. You know what? You find his name in a Who's Who of New York book.
Does it give his address?
It gives the street. It doesn't give his complete address. No, you know,
Okay.
it probably does give his mailing address. Yes.
Phone
Wonderful.
book started in February of 1878.
A telephone book?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well then you would be in a telephone book. That makes him slightly smarter that he didn't, pay $5 to be in a Who's Who book. So yeah, you find it. It has a phone number and address for him. He's in Manhattan.
Okay. Well, when I tell the others, what do you want to do?
Well, if we have names and locations, we should go see to that.
Well, we have one name and one location. Pierce Murray is the last one.
Well, it's only viable lead when it comes to this group.
Mm.
At the very least, if we find his lodgings, maybe we could gain entry and investigate if there's any type of evidence that we could see, or if we could talk to him, maybe he might be able to lead us in other directions. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this type of thing. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure Melvin could help us out a little bit there. So let's go over there. Actually, I'm gonna call first from the payphone at the library.
Okay.
Or the phone booth. I don't know if they're actually payphones at that point, but whatever.
You can probably use the phone in the library. They probably have one.
And I'm gonna see if he's home.
They ring the number and there is no answer. I'm sorry, there's no answer at that number. Would you like to try another number?
No, that's great. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
You too. Okay, great. Let's go.
We bring any kind of glancing over at Melvin, like, should we bring any kind of our friend Doris's favorite items? Do we need to be prepared for?
I am carrying one of those items since I have been feeling insecure. And
Oh, you mean guns.
Isadore, just
Oh.
a rab toad?
Well, I have it hidden away in my valise.
You have a rifle in your valise?
No, I have a handgun in my valise.
Yeah, that's
The
the
rifle
problem.
is in
I
his
have
viola case.
Exactly.
is my
My
weapon of
bassoon
choice is
case.
the shotgun. So it's like, I'm not hauling a shotgun around.
You needed a guitar case. That's what you need.
You're not hauling a shotgun around? Why not?
Well, we were
Because
in
we don't want
Europe.
to run afoul of the FBI again.
Yeah, that Hoover guy's a bitch.
True.
Did not like him one bit. Either way, I just rang his house and he's not home.
Well, let's
Oh,
scurry over
okay.
there and see what we can see.
We can be sneaky. Very nice.
Yes.
Maybe we get lucky. He keeps a diary. Who knows?
When have we ever been lucky?
Well, we're alive.
Look, none of us died in a basement of a village house in England, so everything from there is pretty much gravy.
Yep. And we saved Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
And he has gainful employment now.
Okay.
So we'll go to this guy's house.
All right, you go to the guy's house in Manhattan. It's like a 3-story apartment building. You know, it's one of those things where all the buildings are sort of wedged real close together. And you have the address, and you have his apartment number, and it's on the 3rd floor.
Of course it is. All right, we head over there, and I go, you guys go on ahead. Stairs are a little bit more difficult for me since that fall.
Are you telling me it doesn't have an elevator service?
No, they don't have an elevator. I rolled a 99.
3rd story walk up in New York. Yeah, that's pretty average.
I was about to say, that sounds pretty par for the course.
Okay, so you guys get up to the 3rd floor and you go to room 309, which is in the sort of back left corner as you're facing the entrance to the building.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a number there. And yeah, and there's a door knocker.
Shall I knock?
Yes.
I do so. Knock, knock, knock.
Okay, there is no answer.
I'm going to take a listen at the door.
Okay. Use your listening skill. There is a listening skill, isn't there?
Yep.
I believe there is a listening
Sure
skill.
is.
And you have it at least 20%.
Nope. Rolled a 41.
Okay. You don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything. I basically try the knob, see if it's locked.
It is locked.
Melvin, would you be amenable to helping us get into this apartment?
Sure. Yeah, why not? I will shoulder the door open, Stu.
Okay. I'll just make a strength roll.
That's one way to do it.
I got a 50. So yeah, I succeed.
All right. You don't bust the door open, but you break the little whatchamacallit that the little thing slides into, you know. The door jamb. You break the door jamb. On the inside.
Hey.
The first thing you notice when you open the door is it seems awfully humid in there.
Oh, not again.
I am going to take my kerchief and put it over my mouth, and I am going to enter the room.
Okay.
I'm going to
Otherwise-
take out my silver dagger.
Okay.
That lot of good it will do me.
Everyone came into the city today with weapons, but me.
I hand my valise over to Dmitri.
Okay, I will hit people with this bag.
Is this,
No, look in the
is this
bag.
Is this a weapon
Oh,
situation?
in the bag. Okay.
It's best to be prepared, just in case.
Okay.
All right, what's in there?
As soon as you open the door, this is a nice apartment. There's sort of like a living room that you're in. There's sort of like a little entryway, and there's a closet to the side. Seems to be a few like overcoats and things like that in that small closet there. Very nice furniture. You see that there looks like what appears to be like a large aquarium or terrarium, I suppose, sitting on a like a side table. And then there's a door that leads off to the left and to the right near the back of the living room.
Is there anything in the terrarium?
Yes, there's an enormous amount of dead bugs. Quite a few of them, actually.
Ooh, what kind?
They almost...
I mean, antsy, beetly.
No, more
EE.
grasshoppery.
Oh, okay. Do they look like...
There are a bunch of locusts in the
locusts?
terrarium.
Yes, there are. Then they're all dead.
Okay.
And it looks like the terrarium itself. It just has like a little bit of like sand or dirt on the bottom of it, and you can barely see the bottom of the thing because there's literally a thick layer, probably like a 2 or 3 inch thick layer of dead locusts on the bottom of this thing. And looking at them, it looks like they were at some point they were eating each other.
Mm. Okay. I start looking in and under drawers. I start pulling out couch cushions and looking around, just regularly, just searching the place thoroughly.
Okay. First thing you notice is that there's a trash there's like a little trash can in the bedroom. The door to the right leads into a bedroom, and there's a bunch of like bloody bandages in there. But I mean, the blood stains on them are like brown and very old. In the bedroom, go ahead and give me a spot hidden check for the bedroom.
Can I help with that?
Yes, you may.
That's better. I got a 17.
Okay.
Unnecessary.
There is a you find does your character read probably Arabic or something?
I have Farsi and Egyptian.
Close. Go ahead and it's a different language, but go ahead and make a. Do they have roles for those languages?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have them all at a 31
Take
from
whichever
character
is
gen.
higher. Oh, you have it at 31. Just roll. Go ahead.
Yeah,
and
I
roll.
rolled a 26.
Okay. You can't make out a lot of it because it's not the same language, but you do notice the fact that this is a text. It looks like it's a kind of small text, but it does mention the king clad in yellow on the cover and the title page.
I mentioned this to Camilla.
Okay.
I'm going, I'm certain if I got some literature for this language, I'd be able to suss more of it out. But I do see that the king that we've been plotting against is mentioned here.
Say more that he's been plotting against us, but great. We should definitely take that with us again.
You notice that
Is there any mention of the stranger?
you're going to have to translate it to know that. I mean, it does have a couple illustrations in it. One of the illustrations shows that sort of inverted V formation with the 9 stones.
Mm-hmm.
Like an illustration, and it has like lines between them, and it shows there's numbers, so it's like either ratios. You can't really tell, but it's either ratios or measurements, like between the stones on each side and also across as they expand.
Oh. This may be a guidebook.
Then we definitely need to get to work on a translation for that.
Agreed.
I know some Farsi, which is Persian, which actually has the same alphabet and some overlapping vocabulary, but isn't necessarily the same. So I should be able to do this with minimal effort.
Yeah, probably if you have like a reference book or something, you can probably get it done in hours. It's small. It probably the thing only has like 16 pages.
But let's continue our search and make sure that we uncover everything we can.
Agreed. Especially if there are any other texts or these daggers that could come in useful.
Especially the symbol. It might be anywhere. just keep an eye out for it. Are there any pieces of art here, Stu, or any pictures?
In the living room, there's like a pastoral scene of like some sheep. And
I examine it. I look behind it. I just sort of check it out, make sure that there aren't any markings on it that are odd.
Doesn't really look. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. The other room off to the left, it looks like it's a bedroom that's been turned into a study, sort of thing. There's a shelf with some books on it. Most of the books look like they're fiction, but stuff that you might be familiar with.
Well, I'm basically going to go and just sort of like flip through all the books, see if there's any notes or anything inside. I'm also going to check the shelf to see if there are any hidden passages for books. Books tend to be kind of an important thing, so I'm looking for those in particular in that library. Notes that maybe have been taped underneath drawers or behind them, in drawers, that kind of thing. Also, I go, Melvin, you seem the type that would be quite adept at hiding things that shouldn't be found. Where would you hide something in a place like this, just if you were going to?
Probably under the floorboards in between the floors.
Something that I would have never thought of.
Given that we're on the 3rd floor, people probably aren't going to be prying up floorboards to look for stuff. But usually there's a little gap between levels.
Do you think you might be able to search around for something like that?
Sure. Give me that spot hidden.
Spot hidden.
You're not going to pull all the floorboards up, obviously. You're going to look for...
I got a 6.
Holy shit. Okay.
Damn.
All right. You find a floorboard that looks like it has little tiny pry marks on it. So you go ahead and pry it up, and you do find that there is something there wrapped in what looks like oilcloth.
Don't touch anything at all if you can avoid it. I'm going to put on a pair of gloves, and I'm going to remove the oil rag up and unwrap it.
It is an English copy of The King in Yellow, a play in 3 acts.
I show that to Camilla.
And it has the yellow sign on the cover.
More of this book.
More of this book and this cursed sign. Have you seen anything like this symbol around, Melvin? Does it seem familiar to you?
I can't say I have. No.
Does your character
is there
have
anything?
I don't go to the theater a lot.
Is there anything like when I flip through? Are there any differences between this copy and the copy that I have already read?
It's a different edition. It looks like it was printed by someone else. But I mean, like going through, not comparing side by side. I don't know if you have that other book with you. But I mean, the gist of it looks pretty much the same. It might be a slightly different translation.
Yeah, but it's not like there aren't major differences or like diagrams, more diagrams or anything like
No, nothing like that.
Cool. Wow, we should take this with. Well, actually, never mind. I'm just gonna burn it. I'm gonna set it on fire in the trash can.
Is there a kitchen in here?
Yes.
It probably.
What? Trash cans are mostly metal. Like.
I'm just saying that there's probably ventilation there.
Oh, that's actually very smart.
Yeah, it probably has there's probably like a little wood stove or something that you can toss it into.
Fantastic. I do that.
Okay.
Why
There's
would
no
this
need
guy
for us to
hide
collect copies of these books.
Why would this guy hide a play under his floorboards?
Because the play is actually more of a prophecy and more of a thing that, if we allow to come to pass, may be bad. And we've noticed
It's
that
basically like they're a bunch of Satanists,
yeah.
and that's their Bible.
cleverly disguised.
Huh.
It is practically a 70s player handbook. That's how bad it is.
Jim, go ahead and give me another spot hidden roll for his little office thing.
I got a 50 out of my 52.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
As you're searching through those books, you do find like a scrap of paper, like a note paper.
Okay, I look at it.
It says, Washington, D.C., July 18, 6 p.m., Pennsylvania Station.
I share this with the group.
Okay.
I'm sorry, say
Washington,
again.
D.C., July 18, 6 p.m., Pennsylvania Station.
Oh,
And what day is it today?
the 24th.
Curses, we're too late.
Maybe not. He's obviously meeting someone there. It could be that the full extent of... I mean, we would have found something in the papers if the full extent of his plans had been...
Well, it points us in the right direction. He went to D.C. He could still be there.
Exactly. And it makes sense if that's where the party's going to be. From these
Perhaps.
bandages, do you think that he's the person who is missing a hand?
From the amount of blood on those bandages, what do you think, Stu?
There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood. If someone had a severed limb, it would produce about that much blood, certainly.
What Stu said, I say. But that'll make him a lot easier to spot if we're looking for a man with only one hand.
Unless he just keeps his stump in his pocket.
Oh no, Well, then it'd be suspicious to have somebody just with their hand in their pocket all the time. At least that's what my mother told me. Well, just
Are there
spend some-
any personal effects that might depict like photographs of him?
Yeah,
anywhere in
like a
the
photo album or
apartment?
something like that.
Yeah, well, there's a portrait of him with a woman who appears to be maybe a few years younger than he is.
A portrait of him and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Does this woman look like him? Same
No,
age?
Doesn't
same,
look like a relative.
Oh, okay. Same age?
Is it in a frame?
It's framed. It's sitting in by his nightstand.
I'm going to remove it from the frame and see if there's anything written in the back of the picture.
Okay. It has a
Because sometimes people put names, their dates and stuff. Yeah.
It has a date on it of February 5th, 1919.
I'm going to take the picture just so we have a picture of him.
Okay.
So, and basically just do the most thorough search, and if we found everything we're going to find.
Yeah, you probably spend a few hours there, and you're reasonably certain you found everything.
Oh, and in the medicine cabinet, are there any prescriptions or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
There's tooth powder.
So,
Talc.
I think that this is as thorough as we can get, should we take a train to DC? What's our next step?
May want to check in with Tesla and see how long it's going to take him to work on his machine.
I think that's a good plan. Okay. So back to the university, I suppose.
Okay.
Where's the university?
Let's take New York.
It's just upstate a little bit. Ravenhearse. But I can't remember what town it's in.
Norwich.
Norwich, yeah.
Okay. You head back up there, and you've got, I don't know, what kind of arrangement did you make for him to remake his machine? Was it like was it on campus or off campus? Or did we decide?
In my opinion, it would have been better on campus, just because there's more people around, just for general observation security. And I'm certain that we have an engineering department that probably has the metalworking lathes and yada yada yada, all the bits that he's going to need mechanically to manufacture the parts.
Okay.
Actually, let's just say that there's a mechanics department, and he's taken it over while school is out.
Or maybe using the basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also needed a place that would probably have access to power generation that he would need as well.
Well, he tells
at
you
least,
right up front that he's going to need a lot of electricity.
yeah. So if there are any emergency or backup generators in the campus, we'd want to be located relatively near that.
Okay.
But I'm assuming that power is coming from some kind of hydroelectric from this far upstate.
Probably.
Okay.
But he tells you at some point he's going to need some like enormous batteries or capacitors or something.
Okay.
Like real big stuff. But he probably gave you guys a wish list already. Okay. So he's down working in the basement. And he's got like 2 engineering students helping him.
Mr. Einstein. Yeah.
Oh, yes. How can I help you?
I assume you're doing well and you have everything you need to, at least for this phase of your work?
Yes. And these 2 students were willing to provide their time to help me. So I think this would all go very swimmingly.
Oh, very good. Oh, young people. Thank you so much for your assistance. I'm Professor Holzman.
You
I shake
recognize
your
one
hands.
of them as a student.
It's
Because you're
fantastic.
You're in the history department, is that right?
I'm in the archaeology department.
Archaeology. Okay. One of them probably took your introduction to archaeology class a couple semesters ago. But you do recognize one of them.
Oh, yes, I remember you. Quite a good analytical mind on you.
Oh, I thank you, Doctor. Dr.
Very
Holzman?
good. I'm certain you'll find this work very rewarding. Thank you so much for volunteering.
Of course. It's fascinating.
Well, I'll make sure to tell the dean of all of your hard and good work.
I thank you.
I'm just sort of going to go, hey guys, would you, Dmitri and Melvin, mind just taking a look outside the building and just making sure nobody's been trying to spy in here or messing about or mucking about, especially checking out the power and all that stuff. I just want to make sure that nobody's been tipped off to this.
It's a good plan.
Yeah, okay.
Spot hidden rolls?
I'm never gonna not use these pink sparkly dice. The double number keeps rolling zeros, so I just got a 7.
Oh, excellent.
Oh my gosh.
Ink is
This-
lucky, dog.
It's not. It's gonna fail me when I most need it, though.
This was
That's
my
the best
first
part.
successful spot hidden roll in this game.
Excellent. So you guys basically go to either side because it has those little windows up near the top, and that you have in some
Sure.
basements, and both of you find copious amounts of footprints behind the hedges, along where those windows sort of emerge. And there's not like a walkway there or anything. Someone had to like tromp through the garden.
But does it? It seems likely that it's probably not suspicious characters as much as it's curious faculty and staff. I think. I might be wrong. I'll share it with the group. But
Is
like,
there such a thing as campus security or campus police at this point?
Probably not.
Yeah,
They probably just use the local police if they have like a real problem.
perhaps we could hire a couple people to provide, personal security for the famous Dr. Einstein.
young man. Is there any tinfoil around here?
Yes,
Are you
I
going to
believe-
make a hat, Isadore?
No. And I take some of that foil and I basically start mushing it up against the little window openings.
Okay, all right.
I'm attempting, but then I knock a few little, like, pinholes at the very top to let some light in.
Okay.
Just use soap.
Oh yeah.
You just soap the windows.
See, it's good to have an expert. I remove that and I do that. It's even better.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
We lacked a certain level of subterfuge in this group. Yeah, I'm just making sure that it's not as easy to peer in here. This is, of course, supposed to be somewhat secretive since there are patents involved and so on and so forth. I say out loud to not alert the students.
As part of that looking around, can I have checked the interconnection of the power lines coming into the building, etc.?
Well, yeah, I did mention that from the top, so as soon as Stu comes back, hopefully there's something to be found there. If not, But I am kind of concerned that there have been people spying in on this. But you're right; it would actually have a certain amount of curiosity at a university. So,
Especially because he's famous.
yeah. My only problem is that people at this university, some of them may have seen a lecture by Einstein or read one of his books beforehand. So,
Well,
I'm
there weren't any
concerned about
pictures of him
recognizability.
in the books.
I'm just saying on the offhand, I think it's a good idea to just keep them undercover as much, just to try to avoid any type of quote-unquote misunderstanding.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Did we at least bleach his hair?
Was Einstein?
He's still young. He's not all white-haired yet.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
all
that's
of
true.
Einstein's hair was that white.
I was about to say, he was a brunette, wasn't he?
I
Yeah,
think
you're
so.
right. But even the young pictures, he was slightly graying. I think he was premature gray, but he did have dark hair
I
to
was
begin
like
with.
me. I was starting gray hair at 19.
Either way, did y'all ask him how long it was? Did we find out how long it was going to take him to make the machine?
No, I just made sure that he had everything he needed, but you can certainly ask. How much time do you think you're going to need to complete this project?
I should have everything that I need recreated in about 2 weeks. Then we'll have to, if we can acquire very large batteries.
Yes,
that
the
would be
power resource
useful.
problem. But we're working on it, and we have 2 weeks to get that to you, but we'll figure that out.
If necessary, I could use also extremely large capacitors.
Well, I'm going to do some research, especially this kind of equipment is popular. There's a lot of things in New York that we might use to acquire these things.
The
So,
resources certainly exist in New York, absolutely.
but I understand your requirements, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that you have them in the time that you'll need.
Oh, I thank you.
So we have about a week and a half to find that power requirement. Other than that, about 2 weeks for completion.
Seems time enough to go deal with this New York City, Washington D.C. situation.
Agreed.
Hopefully.
What time is
Okay.
it by now, Stu?
Oh, it's got to be nighttime now. It's probably like 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Should we?
We figured it was a few hours drive from
Yeah,
New York.
that's
to
what I
Orange,
figured.
Yeah.
Do you want to get a good night's rest tonight and then make our way first thing in the morning? Melvin, what do you feel about a drive to Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are paying, so Washington, D.C., cool, let's go. I mean, Nito or whatever.
Before
they
we
said in the
go,
20s.
before I turn in, I'd like to check the art library to see if they have any papers from Washington, D.C. and see if there's anything from the 18th onwards that I can find.
I'm going to make sure that Melvin has a place to stay tonight, since it's inconvenient to ask him to drive back to New York home and then drive back up here.
Okay.
I mean, even if it's my couch, whatever it is, doesn't matter.
I'll also pick you up a text on Arabic.
Oh, fantastic.
The library subscribes to the Washington Sun, and it's a weekly paper, and the most recent issue arrived this morning,
How fortuitous.
and it does have quite a few articles about a growing demonstration near the White House. I can't remember what they call that.
Miners.
Right. I can't remember what they call
Like-
that area. The big, huge grassy area where all the white ivory buildings are surrounding.
The National Mall.
National Mall. That's it. And there are currently what's there now is like family members, widows of the miners who have been killed. And they're sort of camping out, and they've got the article basically says that, describes the in detail what happened about the recent mining accident a few months ago, and the fact that one happened like 10 years earlier in the same mine, and that some of the children of the miners who were killed in the first one were killed in the second one. So there's the people that are there, the survivors that are there, are pretty freaking angry.
National tragedy, right?
And they basically set up almost like a camp, and then the Capitol Police tried to sort of roust them, and they had made the move, and then they came back. But when they came back, they were escorted by a bunch of veterans from World War I who were armed, and decided, no, they can stay here. We think they should be allowed to stay here. So, and they're apparently, there is a spokesperson that will be quoted in the article, Randolph Mason, and he has put out a call to all fellow Great War veterans to come and protect the rights of these family members to redress their grievances against the government. And his rhetoric in that article is pretty inflammatory. It's like, we need soldiers here, we need people who are trained, we need people who are armed because they're going to try to push us away, blah, 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 blah. That kind of thing. And it looks
Protecting the innocent workers.
It looks like there is a outside of that area, like there's another park kind of farther away, and it looks like that's almost like becoming a staging area for a lot of these veterans who are going to come in and help.
I'm going to stay up a little late, and I'm going to create a notebook that journals and has basically every bit of experience and evidence that we have according to the the plagues, the stuff that we found in Europe, the artwork, the Titanic, all the pieces that we have. I'm actually just going to jot down sort of like a timeline and make some notes and a list of evidence and things that we've discovered. And I want to keep this notebook in my valise with my pistol.
Okay. All right.
And then I go to bed.
Okay. All right. Anyone else doing anything this evening? Going once, going twice. Sold. Okay. Next morning, you wake up.
We arrived.
I fill up a thermos with some coffee.
Okay. So probably, I'm going to guess it's about a 6-hour drive. I looked this up already.
It's about 225 miles. I just looked it up.
Okay. That's from where? From New York City?
From New York. Yeah.
From the city. And you're about 2 hours, a 2-hour drive from there. So, yeah, let's say 5 hours. So sometime around noon-ish, you arrive in Washington, D.C.
Can you translate the book on the way?
Yeah, I'll work on that on the way.
Okay. Make a... Make a straight idea roll or int roll. Do that.
Not bad. I got a 25 and my int is 65.
Oh, okay, all right. So the text is in fact almost like a handbook for summoning diseases and pestilence. And it describes the fact that you have to have these 9 stones placed in a V format, or in a V formation, and then the pestilence you want to summon, that you want to propagate, has to be within that V for it to happen, and there needs to be, at the very least, a blood sacrifice. But it also talks about the fact that the more destruction the sacrifice entails, the stronger the effect will be. All the way up
So
to a
you
human
can just
sacrifice.
bleed a little bit on it and it'll give you some effect, but if you actually rip somebody's heart out for it, it's much greater effect.
Exactly.
Okay. I in that same notebook, I just basically jot down the translation, and I same thing, and then I hand the translation to Camilla for her peruse as well.
Okay. It also tells you that a multiple of 9 by 9, such events can cause the lost city to reappear.
So 9 by 9, as in
It's an 81.
yeah, it's okay. It's a multiplication tool, not 9 sets next to 9 sets. I just wanted to make sure.
So not exponential, but multiplicative.
Yes.
How many sets of these things have we encountered?
I look through all of my notes and see if I can decipher a number.
Were there any photos of Randolph Mason in the articles about where he was the spokesman?
Yeah. Oh, well, it's probably one of those newspapers that has like illustrations, and there's an illustration of him. And you don't recognize him.
Okay. But I might recognize him if I saw him.
Having seen that picture, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, it seems possible that there's going to be quite a large sacrifice we'll attempt quite soon.
Well, if this situation escalates into violence, they may be able to use that.
Yes, that's what I'm afraid of. But what can we do to stop it?
If we find the person that's in charge of this and manage to convince them somehow of what's going on, we could manage to stop it. But we have no idea of knowing whether he's in cahoots or not.
Not to mention, I mean, I barely believe what we've seen, and I lived through it.
Understood. I believe that too. But that's why I developed this. I tried to put as many factual things together as evidence as possible to try to create as convincing a case as we can.
Dmitri, what do you think?
Hey, I can't see any way forward that doesn't involve us trying to stop this. They have done so much already. Who knows across how many timelines this Abigail woman has done her evils, traveling to and from the land of the dead, as it were. I cannot let a bunch of innocent victims of industrial accidents be used to bring about something even more horrible.
No. These people have legitimate grievances. I understand their plight and I sympathize with it. I wouldn't want to... The fact they're using this makes it even more evil. But one thing that we do have is that we know for a fact from this translation that for these things to come about, there are certain ritualistic necessities that are needed, much like
I mean, they
these
do
stones.
need the stones.
If we can find the placement of these and disrupt that place right there, the four of us might be able to make as big a difference as anything.
It's true.
So I think that outside of trying to find the individuals that we're trying to find, locating any sighting of this particular triangle manifestation would help us. At least we'd know where the ritual is taking place.
Agreed.
So, kind of out of character question.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still planning to attend the president's daughter's birthday?
We do have 2 invitations to go in there.
I mean, as of right now, yeah.
I
Why wouldn't we?
I
think that's Elizabeth Harding. Yeah. That's on the 16th of August, by the way.
and I'm sorry, what's our date
24th?
again?
The
No,
25th of July.
25th.
Oh, so we still got weeks. Okay. I was thinking perhaps the two things were connected. They would use the party to do the ritual, and then the protesters as victims of this grand sacrifice.
Agreed, but it seems like this might be something separate where they need to prepare, and either way, Pierce Murray's here for a reason. And I feel like we should do everything in our power to stop whatever it is he has planned.
We should have inquired as to what kind of car Pierce drove.
Well, if he was meeting someone at Penn Station, then he most likely took the train. Huh?
Unless he was instructed to come pick them up from the train station and take them elsewhere. Actually, maybe I will go to Penn Station and see if I can question some people and see if I can find anyone. I do have a picture of him. We might be able to find a porter or somebody that may have seen him and might have more information.
Okay, so you're going to go to the Pennsylvania... So you guys are going to stop in New York and go to the Pennsylvania station? Or are you going to go to the station, train station in D.C.?
Train station in D.C.
Got it. Okay.
Because I'm figuring he ended up here.
Okay.
And at the very least, we could sort of like remove the idea that maybe he's just staying up north. I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws. I'm not sure.
Okay. So you guys arrive in Washington, D.C., and the big, huge section of the mall is covered with what looks like old surplus army tents. And there are probably 800 or 900 people there that don't look like soldiers, and then you see people actually walking around with rifles who seem to be protecting them. They've created almost like a picket around them. And there's, it looks like someone has set up like a permanent sort of police presence where they have some kind of tent up, and they've set up a command post, basically at the farthest end of the park closest to the White House.
The police have, or the protesters have?
The Capitol Police. So the Capitol Police, up real close to the White House as they can get, they've set up some sort of like command post, and then farther back is where the protesters are camped, and they have signs along the roads on both sides, asking people to honk their horns, meet, because it's 1922. Or whatever the horns sound like. and then you guys go to the train station.
Yeah, unless somebody else has a better idea.
That's as good a place as any. Well, while you go to the train station, can I spend a little time, like, walking through the crowd?
Sure.
Like, check out the encampment, make sure the tents aren't set up in the V formation or something ridiculous?
Okay.
Like,
yeah, you can totally do that. So as far as the train station goes, make a luck roll.
Just straight up luck?
Straight up luck. Because
Gosh darn it.
It's just a
All right.
chance.
I got a better than 50-50 chance. I got a 17.
Okay.
I'm using a different dice roller.
And some guys, one of the porters is like, "Oh yeah, I remember that guy." You're showing him the picture, I assume, that you took out
Yes.
of the frame. Okay. Says, "Yeah, he maybe like, well, I don't know, maybe a week ago showed up. I had to help him because he only had one hand."
Yeah, did he just come with luggage on his own, or
Yeah.
nobody came to pick him up? Did he take a cab somewhere, or
He took a cab, but I don't know where he went.
do you know what cab company?
Yellow.
Okay.
Capital Yellow. Yellow Capital. The cab people.
Okay. Thank you so much. And, I give him like $1 or whatever.
Okay.
And I go,
That's probably
He
actually
was
a
in-
huge tip.
yeah, he was indeed here about a week ago. The porter did see him. I can confirm that he is missing a hand. That is now a fact. and he took a yellow cab at approximately this time and date home, or to wherever he's calling home now, or wherever he's going. So maybe we could ask the cab company. They might know.
That makes sense.
Okay. So, actually, just if there's a phone somewhere close by, I'm just going to give them a call.
Okay.
And I'm going to go, hi, I have an inquiry. I was supposed to meet somebody here a day ago, and they didn't manage to make it to where we were meeting, and it's somewhat important. My name is Professor Isadore Holzman. I was wondering if you might be able to shed light onto what cab driver picked up a gentleman by the name of, give him all the information. I have a picture if it's convenient. Would you be able to help me?
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to look through the driver's logs. So what date did he come in?
I'll give him the date and approximate time.
Yeah, well, I can. I honestly, I won't have time to do it. But if you want to come down here and look through the logs yourself, you're welcome to.
I would love to, sir. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in contact.
Okay, just ask for me.
I tell the group. It might at least let us know where the cab took him.
That sounds like our best course of action.
All right, we'll head over to their HQ. See
Okay,
what we can
well,
see.
Let me go with Dmitri and his meandering through the encampment. First off, the tents are in neat rows. They're not in an inverted V format in any way. So it looks like that whoever set them up, they probably were set up by veterans. It looks like there's about maybe like 700 or 800 people here who are the actual protesters, and maybe about 30 or 40 veterans, some of whom are still wearing their uniforms. What a sweet puppy!
Ah, poodle boy.
And like I said, they're all armed. Not all of them, about half of them are armed. Because it turns out the army kind of wants the rifles back when you're done.
On the plus side, I can open carry my shotgun,
Right. No one.
and nobody's gonna think weird about it.
Not, here, not at all. Now, if you were to leave this vicinity, you might get rousted by the cops. But here, the cops don't seem to be doing anything about it.
How many bets did you say there were?
What did I say, like 30? 40? 30 or 40? About half of them have guns. And they've set up sort of a perimeter around the encampment. Looks like they've got some ropes and stakes, and they've sort of kind of made a makeshift fence around it, and there's little openings in it, and there's like a sentry at each one. And they'll let you in.
Yeah, but they seem pretty organized.
Yes.
Can I, like, I don't know, like, just kind of spend time working the crowd? Like, go for the war camaraderie angle?
Sure.
See if, any of them have seen anything weird, anything like that?
Okay, yeah. You can do that.
I mean, I don't know what that would be based on. As far as a roll goes, I'm
looking.
There's not like carouse or.
I'm sure your charm is real high, right?
Sure.
What's your credit rating?
Well, my credit rating from character generation was 30 as a soldier.
Right.
but
We're all so broke.
Yeah, we're
I-
all 30. It's crazy.
I don't.
Except for the
I don't.
bootleggers at 20.
I don't think that like that should be accurate now. Really,
Right.
like, unless I have like, I don't know, some kind of like, I don't know.
Go ahead and roll that for now
Okay.
with a bonus die.
Okay. No.
Okay.
Is it possible to critically fail this roll?
It sure is. What
I got a 99.
Oh, I'm sure that's a let me check the thing. I'm sure.
Oh, I
that's a
forgot to
crit.
roll the second die. Oh, hold on.
Okay. Roll a second tens die.
I still got a 99.
Holy shit. That's a
It was
confirmed
fate.
critical failure. So you rolled a
All you people getting all those good rolls used up all the air in the room.
So you rolled legitimately a 99. And your credit rating is below 50%, so yes, that is an actual failure.
Yes.
But you were rolling credit rating to talk to people?
Yeah,
Yes.
Kind of using it
That
as I was
that
kind of
is the
using
most
it.
American thing I've ever heard.
Well, I see it might also have to do with your credibility, kind of, because there's nothing really else there that's even close. And it doesn't matter because you rolled a 99. It would have been bad anyway.
Yeah, no skill would have made it good. I agree.
Although if it was over 50%, it wouldn't be a critical failure. Going to critical failure. Okay, one of the veterans there mistakes your accent for German. And he decides to punch you in the face.
Oh. All right.
Because these damn Jerrys, etc., etc.
Brilliant plan, Dave. Kick the violence off now before they're ready to do a ritual with it.
I mean,
Yeah,
whatever works.
that's a plan, all right. I'm gonna try and just extricate myself.
Okay. All right.
Like I don't want to escalate things, but if
So-
I can't,
He's full on taking a swing
Conceivably.
at you.
okay.
So if you could,
Can I?
you can make a dodge roll if you would like to make a dodge.
Yes, I would like to do that. That is not aggressive. Hey, I made that one.
Okay. You avoid being punched in the face. At this point, you can, sort of retreat. You're near one of the exits, and you can leave if you want, or if you want to try to calm the guy down and convince him that you're not a German. You could do that too.
Well, I'm gonna try and do that, but like I'm gonna back towards the exit,
Okay. All right.
especially so like there aren't other people behind me.
Okay. Now, if you would like, you could make either probably like a fast talk or a charm or one of those sort of roles to basically sort of very quickly convey the fact that the Russian accent and the German accent are very different, and you actually fought on the same side as this guy because the Germans attacked you as well. Or actually, you attacked the Germans. I don't know. I don't think the Germans actually ever stepped foot into Russia before.
No, that was Austria-Hungary. That
It might have been
Russia
Austria-Hungary. Well, Austria-Hungary screwed up left and right in World War I.
Oh, yeah.
First, by starting the war. But they invaded Serbia, and then Russia mobilized to attack Germany and Austria-Hungary because they were co-aggressors, or whatever you want to call it. So go ahead and make that any one of those sort of social skills, and I'll let you decide which one you want to use. I'm sure your skill level is extremely high.
Yeah.
Thanks for the vote of confidence there, Stu.
He's a very social character.
He is a very likable guy.
Hey, America. Baseball.
Yeah, I guess that's what it's going to have to be. Let's see how this one works.
American baseball player.
Hey,
Good. What'd you
I got within 11 points
Okay.
of my 5% fast talk.
You could spend 11 luck points.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Just say,
luck
how much
for
luck
this.
you got?
No.
Alvin, are you
I'm-
with him?
I did not state
You can
where
be
I
if you
was.
want.
I could be with him.
Okay.
And maybe, I don't know.
Maybe help him fast talk. You only have a 5% fast talk, Dave.
That's the
15?
baseline.
You have no fast talk.
Yeah.
I mean, the base on charm is 15%.
Oh, I guess. But I got a
That's fine.
16 anyway.
Then you only
So
have
you
to
could
spend one luck point.
point.
I got a 32 against my 40 fast talk to try to help Dave out of this situation.
Okay. All right. Now, are you a veteran? Were you in the Great War?
No.
You weren't. Okay. Too young?
What's that?
Too young? How
Were
old-
you too young?
Oh, no. Mid-20s. So, yeah, too young to have been in.
Okay. All right. So,
But definitely very American accent.
absolutely right. Okay, you calm the guy down, and he's like, Russian's got a lot of nerve coming in here. Not Russian, German. That German's got a lot of nerve coming in here.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I'm going to take him outside and I'll beat the shit out of him for you.
Okay.
Let's go, buddy.
Hey! I'm not a German, I swear.
Just,
I've never even made it to Germany. I fought on the other side. We weren't super successful.
yeah, just shut up and eat your schnitzel. And I'll like usher him to the exit.
Okay. All right. So you head back out, and there's like, this guy's like called over a couple other people, and they're sitting there talking, and you can see they're giving him the stink eye across their little makeshift rope fence.
Don't worry, guys. I'll teach him a lesson about being German.
I have never even had a hamburger.
Really? There you should. They're tasty. I'll get you a hamburger after I kick your ass. That's American diplomacy.
Okay. So you move away from the situation, and where are you guys gonna head now?
I don't know. That's the extent of my planning.
Okay. I'll go back to Isadore real quick. Are you? You go to the cab place?
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, Canada. Give me another library use, because you're looking.
Yeah, a skill I actually have well. I rolled a 4.
Jesus. I'm assuming that's a successful roll.
Yeah, I have a 63, so
Okay.
yeah. I think that's a critical success, actually.
No, they don't take down names or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But you do find, like, you kind of calculate out, you know, if the train left at 6 p.m., it probably arrived at like 7:30 or 8 o'clock in New York or in D.C. So then you go through and you look for pickups at the train station around that time on that day, and you do find one. And
Okay.
The cabbie's name is Barney Ryan, and he's off today. when you ask the supervisor, but he tells you that. Oh, no, it's 1923. He gives you his fucking address. Well, here you can go and call him up and talk to him if you want to.
All right. So, yeah, I go, well, I got a location of this cab driver. He's off today. Probably be able to ask him where he went.
Okay. We should pick up the other two and all go
Yeah.
together. I don't want to leave this.
Powder keg?
I don't want to get split up here. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, let's reunite with the rest of the group.
Okay. You're all reunited, like walking along the mall.
Dmitri, Melvin, we have a lead. I managed to find the cab driver that picked up our suspect.
I managed to find a very surly American soldier.
Oh, they're all over the place here. Try being German.
They thought he was!
Oh, that's the problem.
I've worked long and hard to try to rid myself of this accent because I didn't want to die.
And I was like, you idiot, he's Italian.
But let's go talk to this gentleman and see where this guy ended up.
Okay. So you gotta go on the little apartment building, kind of on the outskirts of town, and you find the guy's apartment, and it has one of those little buzzer things that you ring.
I go up there, I ring the buzzer, knock on the door.
Okay. He comes in. What can I do for you?
Hello, sir. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find a colleague of mine that showed up here a little while ago, and he never made our meeting, and I didn't find out where he was staying. I pull out a picture of him, the picture I have. This gentleman, I was told by the cab company that you may have picked him up at Penn Station.
I am on fire with the rolls right now.
Missing a hand.
Oh, yeah. I had to help the guy take his luggage up to his room. Yeah, I remembered that guy.
Do you know what address you took him to?
Yeah, it was a hotel over on Vermont. And he gives you the name of it. And you know what? I remember because he was on the 4th floor. And the elevator was broke down, and I had to haul his luggage all the way 4 flights of stairs.
I'm rubbing my knee while he's saying this.
And he tipped me a nickel.
Oh. Sir, 2 bits. Thank you very much for the information.
Much obliged. Any other information you want? It's all up here.
Do you know about how much luggage he took with him? And
Oh, let's see. He had a steamer trunk. He had a small bag. And then he had a suitcase.
anything odd about this gentleman that you remember?
Apart from missing a hand? Nah. Not really. Guy
Did
had
you
a
see him
lot of-
speak to anyone else, or was it just a straight up and down?
No, it was a straight deal. I guess he'd already called ahead and got the room. He did have a lot of, like, his face, like he had smallpox when he was young, you know?
Pot mark?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your help in this. If we need anything else, we'll definitely be in contact.
You're very welcome.
Keep up the fine work. And
You
I turn around and I go, okay, I got the hotel. Apparently, he had called ahead already and was ready to be received. He took with him a small bag, a suitcase, and a steamer trunk. So he was either bringing a lot of stuff or he was expecting to have a long stay. Shall we go?
I suppose. Should we arrange... I mean, I guess when we get there, we can see if we could just book rooms in the same hotel.
Indeed. Okay.
Is it like a really nice hotel?
He left.
I don't know yet.
If the elevator was broken,
Yeah.
Probably not.
probably.
Well, I mean, elevators do break.
Elevators break, but like nice hotels have somebody working to repair them right away.
Right, that's true. Dave left because I was going to ask him what the because you find the address. It's a hotel that's like almost on the mall. You can see the mall from many.
Well,
of the
there's
rooms in the hotel.
The hotel that's right behind the White House is the Hay Adams Hotel.
Now this would be along the sides probably.
Oh.
Something with a good view of the mall. High vantage point, not a lot of trees, good field of view. I'm telegraphing.
Wonder what we're gonna find.
It's foreshadowing.
I mean, I think it's best you just make something up.
Okay, I'll just
Stu,
make
'cause
something
there
up.
really
Alright.
aren't a lot. Because almost everything that's right along the mall is public
Right.
buildings.
Yeah. No, this would be like one street off, but taller. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's the thing is there's not a lot of stuff that's taller in the city.
You guys will burn it down before it becomes historical.
I appreciate your vote of confidence.
Okay.
Gotta have standards.
Well, we don't have access to easy explosives like we did in England.
Well, yeah. Sometimes you gotta, blow up a stump. The Astoria Arms. It is a 4-story hotel.
We have 4 stories and 2 stars. You do the math.
And it looks all right. It doesn't look like it's not run down, but it's not, there's no red carpet out front with the bellman
Yeah, but
in his uniform.
I could think that this hotel is obviously selected because of its vantage point and not so much of its quality.
Right. And you have his room number, 40
Okay.
whatever.
Well, while we're outside, I'm like, all right, guys, how do we want to do this?
Well, won't they question us or whatever if we try to go straight up to the room?
If we walk in like we know the place and with confidence, odds are we can just walk up.
Clipboard
let's
and
do
a ladder
that.
gets you anywhere.
But once we reach the door,
Actually, this might be the perfect... I think you should give your valise to Melvin.
okay. I had-
And... Melvin, can you talk to the clerk and see if you're delivering the valise to Mr. Murray and see if he's either in or if you could get one of the porters to let you into his room to deliver it.
Well, we could always call in with a message. The porter will go upstairs to deliver it, and then they are waiting to watch.
We could also just walk up to his room and
Knock?
knock.
I'm just trying to get someone inside. But if
I
we just
can
want to go up and
Try and sneak upstairs if you guys talk to the reception area. They're really not gonna. But most hotels aren't going to be like, "Hey, you wait a minute while I deal with these customers before you go upstairs."
Yeah.
That's not.
Or we could just try to go up and do the same thing that we did at his apartment.
never seen anyone stopped going into a hotel and going to the elevator.
Yeah. Other than a polite, may I help you?
Right.
And you said it's not a super fancy hotel, so it doesn't look like we're walking into the Ritz-Carlton in our tattered rag clothing
No.
or something.
We definitely don't look like any of the protesters out there, so...
Yeah.
Well,
I think we'll be okay to just walk in.
Okay.
All right.
Can't have a fun heist plan every episode, I guess.
Let's just walk on in there and knock on the door then.
Okay, so I'm going to say, let's see, it's July. I'm going to say it's about 6 p.m. maybe. You guys have been around there for a while. Maybe 7. Okay. So you just go upstairs, 4th floor. You get up there, you find the guy's room, 423. And it is on the
Mall facing side?
Mall facing side, yeah.
Okay. Is there like one of those things where you like a peephole or anything on the doors?
No, I doubt they have anything like that.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, just walk up, knock on the door.
Okay. There is no answer.
I basically go to Fezzik and I point towards the door.
I mean, no one has lockpicking.
Yeah,
Not even
we're
a
a bunch
skill.
of academics, man.
A locksmith is a skill.
Yeah.
It is.
Everyone has it at 1%.
I think that's an exaggeration.
I have a different kind of lockpicking. Oh, no, I do not. That is a 95.
Oof. Not a critical, but oof. That hurt. You can push.
Well reinforced hotel.
Allows you to re-roll, but any failure it would have a dire consequence. So you're gonna.
Yeah, you know what? I'll push because
Yeah, he's a gambler. I like it.
I got a 70 strength, so I should be able to open a door.
You have good odds.
These pink dice are goddamn amazing. 3.
All right. Doors open.
That's a good deed.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get a second camera to put on my dice because that's the 3rd time that die has rolled double zeros for me.
Oh my goodness.
Small hotel room. There's a what would that be, like a twin bed on the corner. This is a corner room, and there is a rifle. It looks like a 30-06 set up with a big scope on it, but it's not pointed at the mall, and it's set up like on a tripod, pointed at a window.
I'll look through the scope.
Dmitri, do you know of
No.
any way to sabotage a rifle to explode in the firer's hands?
Stuff a couple of socks down barrel?
Socks.
Or, I mean,
You just jam a bullet down the barrel.
I'm sorry, Stu, you got kind of
You
muffly.
gotta just jam a bullet down the barrel.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. It could be.
I mean, really, almost any. Like,
I'm
it's
saying
like you
Jim
wedge something
knows
in there.
what it takes, but Isadore doesn't.
Okay.
But he's going to the soldier to
Got
ask.
it. Okay. Yeah, you wouldn't even need to make a roll. You would know that, like, if you have a misfire, you don't fire the next round.
I mean, yeah, it's not particularly difficult.
By the way, it looks like you're looking at some room in the White House there, Melvin.
Wow.
Okay. We need to get out of this room very quickly. 'Cause I don't want to be found in a room with a rifle that's doing this.
Well, it hasn't been done yet.
just point it in that direction. It seems like a very bad idea.
Well, can you sabotage the gun?
Yeah, I mean, that's 2
Sabotage
seconds.
it quickly. We're
moments
just,
worth.
and the rest of us will just go ahead and take a quick look around and see if we can find anything. Just looking at desks for papers, so on and so forth, just really quick while he sabotages the gun.
All right.
I don't want to ruin anybody's plans here, but do you think he's going to notice the fact that we broke the door?
Probably, but then he's going to have to critically alter his plans or go on with what he's doing, and this seems to be the only real vantage point that he has to rely on.
I mean, a good way of sabotaging the rifle is also to take it with us. It also becomes inoperable.
And put it in what?
Just carry it out of the hotel with us.
I
Well,
have
we
serious
could-
modern sensibilities when it comes to like all this open carry that we do in
Yeah.
demolitions acquisition.
Just
Is there a case or anything for it in the room?
Yeah, there's like a leather rifle case. Looks like it was probably in a, because the steamer trunk is open, and it looks like it was probably stuffed in there. But there is yeah.
Easy enough to break it down. It only takes seconds.
Well, while you do that, I'm going to search the room.
Same here.
Give me a couple of spot hidden.
Be careful opening drawers. I don't want to have.
Here you
a
go.
look
There's
at
the
problems.
95. Woo!
Oh, good.
Lord.
I'm going to go stand by the door in case somebody decides to...
I got a
Walk in on
17.
us.
Good plan. Man, I'm wondering if it's just leave this right here, observe to make sure nobody else goes in, and call the FBI.
I don't want to deal with Hoover ever again.
I know, but getting
I
those
don't
guys
trust
involved
them.
against them.
And not to mention, how are we going to explain how we knew about him and everything? No.
Oh, an anonymous call to the police. We just watch from the outside.
Hey,
But
my
that's
fear
fine.
there is that they end up confronting something that they're not prepared to deal with.
I mean, we're not prepared to deal with anything.
Well, I feel like we're more prepared to deal with all the weirdness that might come out in the situation. More than average policemen or even federal policemen.
I'm sorry, but we've just basically uncovered a plot to kill the president or someone in the White House. That makes me... That fires up my patriotism. Although I am not from this country, I do have a great deal of affection for it. It's treated me very well. To an extent.
The only thing that you find in the room, and this is like when you're rifling through his, because he had like rifling, he had a bag with him. He had a suitcase, a bag, and a steamer trunk. In the bag, you find a business card for Dr. Heinrich Kissler, London Institute of Psychology, London, England, with an address.
What?
Oh no.
Fuck.
Two possibilities, and both of them are horrible.
Yep.
I don't know. His dealings have been very useful to our whatever little success we've had.
Have
Yeah.
they, though? He has also been working with the Yellow Sign, sending people into the Dreamlands. It's where we continued to be within Abigail's clutches until others came to extract us.
But we use that place as a form of safety and everyone was aware that we were there, especially since we were being quote unquote experimented on while we were asleep. And this woman seemed completely surprised as to our activities and very angry at what we were doing, unless she's a very good actress and all of that was made up.
Possibly. Either way, it's very bad.
Whether he's been singled out for assimilation or destruction.
Either way, if you want to take the rifle, let's go. And before he comes back.
I said we.
Oh, go ahead. Should
I
we
think
just take
Sue's-
everything?
Yeah, might as well. Just make it look like a robbery.
Yes.
Yeah, anything valuable will just lift. Just make it look like a robbery, like a regular robbery. Just bad luck.
Sorry. My son's cleaning his room, and so he's coming in here like every 15 minutes with something and says, I don't want this anymore. What should I do with it? The last thing he came in with was a large trash bag full of trash. And I suggested he put it in the trash can.
Oh, you're such a good dad explaining all that difficult stuff.
Stop with your logic.
You can all think for yourselves. But what I suggest is that we keep an eye out on the outside of this hotel to see if he returns.
I feel like the best way to do that would just be to get rooms here.
Well, we have luggage to bring in now. It's not ours, but we have it.
Oh, Stu, I don't know if you heard. We're going to trash the joint.
Okay, like a robbery or something?
Yeah, we're going to
Okay.
make it a fake robbery.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
Sorry.
going to go downstairs and inquire as to 2 rooms.
Okay. Not a problem.
They have anything on the 4th floor, that'd be fantastic.
They do. They have two rooms on the 4th floor.
All right.
On either
I
side
will-
of the corner room that you just went to.
I will secure them for one night.
Okay. You do so. I'm sure that's within your daily spend. Because I need to pay attention to that now because there's no Daddy Warbucks or Mama Warbucks anymore.
Trust me, I'm glad we found a very expensive rifle.
And whatever money Pierce had in his room, just now in our possession.
Oh, he probably had some money in there.
Did he have any, other incriminating things, or was it just a rifle? Did he have any weirdness, like jars of horrible insects, or...
Like a book that said my master plan.
No, he didn't have anything like that.
Or even, stones that are the ones that we are often looking for?
Right, no. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Okay, I go upstairs and I give Camilla a key and I go, gentlemen, looks like the 3 of us will be sharing a room.
It's okay.
Okay.
But just all that shit that we just stole.
Just next door.
Just next door.
It's the perfect crime.
It is.
Yeah. Like you do.
Okay. So you guys have the 2 adjacent rooms, and sometime around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, you hear a commotion coming from that room. And then you hear people coming up, and there's a lot of muttering back and forth, and you hear people walking around back and forth, back to the stairway, back up to the room, back to the stairway.
I open the door and just sort of peer out like a curious citizen.
Okay.
And I go, and if there's a porter or somebody passing by, what's all the commotion about? I'm trying to get some sleep.
Oh, terribly sorry, sir. There's been an incident that we have an upset guest, and we're trying to resolve his issues for him.
Okay, just try to keep it down. I'm a professor and I need my sleep.
Of course, sir. My apologies. I'll make sure that you are not disturbed for the rest of the evening.
Thank you. And I go back inside, and I sort of smile a little bit.
Okay.
Can I try and peek out there a little bit and see if I can see the disgruntled guest in question?
Sure. Make a luck roll. If you
Yeah,
happen to look
and
at
I
the winning
take a
guess.
glass and I put it up against the wall and try to listen.
I was about to say, I want to listen and see if I can hear if they're moving him to another room or like what they're, since we're on either side.
Okay. Yeah, both of you make listen rolls.
Oh, so close.
Did you make your luck roll there, Dave?
I did, and I made it.
Okay. Yeah, you get a good look at him, and he looks like an older version of the photo that you guys lifted from the apartment. And he does indeed have one hand. And it's been too long since we played. I don't remember if he still has his left or his right hand. So
I mean, the
don't
last time we talked about that hand was like 8 months ago.
Eons ago.
I rolled a 21 under my 67.
Okay. You hear they're apologizing left and right. He's screaming at him. I have some very valuable stuff. Blah 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 blah. And they said, "Well, we have insurance. Our insurance can certainly pay for whatever was lost. If you just give me an itemized list of whatever. Blah 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 blah." And they said, "We're going to put you in another room since the door here is broken." He says, "No, I demand I keep this room, and I demand you get it fixed right away." And they're like, okay, we'll have to send a carpenter up right away. But the other guests are sleeping, and we don't want to sit and hammer on the door jamb while they're sleeping. So can we fix it in the morning? And he says yes. And that's basically it. And then the door closes. Then you hear him muttering to himself.
I think for the rest of the evening, I'm going to listen for him going out.
Okay.
Even if it makes me sleepy tomorrow.
Okay.
Like if he's planning to go out and purchase another weapon.
Okay.
Or probably steal one at this time of night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, assuming his target was something he was going to use, attack tonight. Or, anytime soon.
Okay.
We could Father Illyrian.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I mean, his door is busted.
That's a thing. We're at an opportunity where we know exactly where he is. We can get to him really easily, and we've disarmed him.
Well, he might have a personal weapon on him still.
Yeah, well, so do we.
Indeed, I wouldn't want someone to charge through the door looking at Camilla.
I just did it that one time,
I know.
and I was fine.
Yeah, it worked out well. I was just terrified for you, is all.
You're so sweet. I'll let you lead the way.
I miss Doris. She always knew just what to do in these type of situations.
Melvin could probably just shoulder through the wall and surprise the man. As long as
I
he
can pull
uses
that
the
off.
pink dice.
As long as I use the pink dice.
I'm willing to back any plan we have to nab or do anything to this guy.
I mean, out of character if we don't want to turn into, murder vigilantes.
Well, I kind of want to ask him a bunch of questions. I don't know if I want to kill him outright. I mean, this guy is our only real hope to deciphering everything. Not that
True.
he'd be immediately talkative, but that's a whole other set of horrific problems that Isadore is terrified of as well. But
So he's currently in his room.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know that I'm like more into like capturing him, or we try to like corner him in the Dreamlands. Any of us can get there.
and try to hunt him down in the Dreamlands.
Yeah. There has to be something going on in the Dreamlands when all of this stuff happens. It doesn't just happen on its own.
As long as we don't affect an accidental time jump and get attacked by a thing.
Yes, the Hound of Tindalos. I never went to encounter again.
I mean,
Well, simply killing him will also disrupt their plans. He obviously has a role to play. I just don't know. I don't know.
But will it... I mean, it might not disrupt them enough. And... we might just have enough blood on our hands already.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Dmitri, but a shot like that at that range with that kind of weapon, that takes somebody that's somewhat trained to execute, correct? With prevailing
Yes.
wind, curvature of the earth, so on and so forth. This person is someone who was selected because they have the skills to pull this particular thing off. How easy do you think it would be to find someone else that might be able to do something like this?
there's probably a bunch of people nearby that are good enough to do this, since there's a group of veterans protecting people on the mall. However, convincing one of them that they need to shoot somebody is a different story.
Well, if they're already angry against the government, that may not be too difficult to motivate.
It's possible. Do we want to, instead of directly confronting him now, do we want to follow him for a while and see what he does? See if he meets any other people or
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
goes anywhere that might lead us to a ritual space or whatever? So
I think that's a brilliant idea. I think that we so desperately want to act on this that we may be a little bit too impetuous. Perhaps a little bit of patience and observation is the route to go. I find it ironic that the soldier is the one that comes to that conclusion.
well,
He has the
if
most
we,
experience.
we kill a man today, we don't find out who his evil friends are.
Well, we're in the perfect position for that plan. We're literally right up next to him. We'll know his comings and goings. He may be able to recognize either Camilla or myself, since we've had dealings with them in the past. So I would suggest that if anyone would be following and observing, Dmitri and Melvin would be ideal.
So, at this point, I think I'm going to turn to Melvin. I'm going to say, there may be some things that you must know.
I'm starting to pick up on that.
We encountered each other in England a month ago. This time, it led us to find many people that were out to do evil harm to many, many innocent folk. They are trying to use like magic to do bad things. I know this sounds absolutely inconceivable, but think about all the times you have not stepped on the cracking sidewalk for fear of hurting your mother. Think about all the times that a black cat is a bad omen. this is the kind of magic these people do. They do bad things by reaching into dark places. I am not so good at explaining all of this, but
maybe if we started a little bit earlier. Camilla and myself and a couple of other people, we stumbled onto a situation where there was an organized group of people that were bringing plagues upon the earth. There was a plague of locusts. I don't know if you read in the paper about the locust infestation, or the strange spread of yellow fever, or the use of certain insects to bring forth certain diseases and other destructive circumstances. And actually, I bring out my notebook and I just sort of like start laying out all the things that we saw.
I'm just going to cut right in. There's a bunch of religious fanatics, Melvin, who want to bring down our great nation. And everything they do sounds crazy, so we can't go to the cops about it.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So,
but as you can see, this dude is ready to shoot the president, man. What we're up against is real, and it's a threat against this nation.
black magic.
And this guy's one of those bad people. It was clearly, I mean, he was about to try to kill somebody in the White House.
Well, we know because we found it. He lost his hand as part of one of these rituals. They needed a blood sacrifice, and he made that sacrifice. The bandages we found in the other place pertain to this. He is definitely involved, and a major player in it. So I know it's asking a lot, but you've been very helpful so far, and the fact that you are unknown to them since we've been digging around in their business for quite some time now would definitely be advantageous. If you could help us here, you'd not only be doing us a service, but you'd be doing practically the world a service.
I mean, I really only have one question. How is that guy going to shoot a rifle with one hand?
I believe that's what the tripod is for.
Yeah, but like reloading.
Well, maybe he only needed to take one shot.
I don't know about black magic, but this does sound pretty bad anyway. So, I mean, yeah, we got to stop these people, right?
We've dedicated ourselves to this. But I was hesitant to bring you in on this at the beginning, but we needed you. And you proved to be so uniquely useful. That's why, and you're so deep into this, that's why we've decided to be a little bit more transparent about things. Especially since it seems so incredibly insane that we didn't want to just chase you away.
I mean, I was basically fine with everything until we started talking about murdering this guy. But he sounds like a bad guy.
We
so.
don't like that at all, and we like to try to find alternatives to that, if at all possible.
I mean, I wasn't the one who went to O'Leary's house.
Listen.
That was more about destroying the thing that was in his basement than those people.
That wasn't O'Leary's. That was James's.
Oh.
How many
O'Leary's
people
house.
have you guys murdered?
Surprisingly few, actually.
Well, I can also tell you about the several times that we've also been murdered and attacked, and the fact that
We have not been murdered. None of us are.
Attempted.
None of us are back from the dead.
Well, sorta.
I think the major bases have been covered. Don't make a habit of it. It just felt like a dire circumstance at the time.
It was.
I mean, so long as you only murder people if it's absolutely necessary.
It was a kill or be
Yes.
killed situation. That those are the only situations where we won't hesitate. But if you would have told me a year ago that I'd be involved in anything like this, I would have laughed in your face.
But I just wanted you to know that things may be very strange. And if you see strange things, you are not alone.
Also, if you have a strange dream, try to find one of us.
That is a good point. I did not even think about that. So dreaming is kind of unsafe. Attempt to sleep without dreaming is better. The black magic.
What?
There's another. You know what? It's too much to complain to explain, really. But like I said, just sleep lightly, and if you do end up in a dream that seems really weird and super real, try to find one of us.
Yeah, okay.
You are literally the most easygoing fellow I've ever met.
I mean, what is he supposed to say? He's already here.
And if I looked like him, I'd be afraid of very little.
Pretty sure if you guys murder that guy now, I'm an accomplice, so...
No, we're not doing that.
Just following. And since you
I
look
mean-
so unassuming and forgettable, despite being a giant of man.
Well, this guy stands out in a crowd with a pockmarked face and a missing hand.
Looking for the man with one hand. I don't care.
I knew somebody was going to bring that up.
I've been fighting it for like 2 hours.
I know, me too. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. Okay, so what do you want to do? Let's take shifts to listen for when this guy leaves, if he leaves in the middle of the night. Make sure that we're all rested. And if he does, we'll stir the rest of the group.
It's good.
Tomorrow, I have an idea, Camilla. I would like to see some of the architectural maps of the city, just to see if there are any structures that might somewhat line up as a triangle of stones, so on and so forth. If there's a geographic feature that already meets their needs, if they need to create a large ritual, we might be able to find it there.
Agreed.
It's amazing how much time we spend in the library. More time in the library researching things than I did when I was an academic.
So, you guys are going to take shifts?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is going to go first in that order?
Since Dmitri already brought it up.
I can go first. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And who would be going second?
I'll go second.
Okay. Sometime around like midnight, 1 o'clock, Isadore, you wake up and you notice that Dmitri is like leaning against the wall with his like glass in his hand, and he's like,
Oh,
I kind of give him a little. I wrestle him awake
okay,
gently.
okay.
huh? Oh, sorry. I have apparently failed. Since I already have a glass, do I hear anything on the other side of the wall?
You hear snoring.
Oh, okay, good. Means I didn't lose him, at least.
Go to bed. I'll take over for you.
Okay. Thank you, my friend.
Of course.
Okay. And then who's on third and who's on fourth?
I'll do third.
I don't know what tomorrow. Sorry.
Melvin will take third.
Okay. And so Camilla's taking the last watch.
Yeah.
Sure.
Process of
Well,
elimination.
you're in a different room. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, yeah, Tyler, you're sitting there and snoring, and then all of a sudden, the snoring just stops.
Is there any other sound, or just the snoring stops?
The snoring just stops.
I think someone just killed him.
Or he woke up.
But there's no other sound, so he's not doing other things.
If you didn't hear anyone go in,
Or he entered the dreamland.
Can you not snore when you're in the Dreamlands?
I don't know, but it is a sort of phase change of your consciousness.
I'm gonna wake up Isadore and be just like, he stopped snoring. I don't know what that means.
Oh, and it is almost daybreak. I mean, the sky is starting to get that like deep blue kind of color outside the window.
Okay. I'm going to put on a robe and some slippers. And I'm just going to walk downstairs like I'm looking for the paper.
Okay. You go down. You go down. It's early. It's probably 5 or so. You go down.
I go down to the bellman or whatever, and I go, there's so much rustling around last night. I could hardly get some sleep.
There's no one
be
at
ever.
the front desk.
Shit. I try to wake up.
What did we decide that was? A power roll?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a power roll so you can wake up.
I got a 29. My power is 80.
Okay, all right. You wake up. You're in bed. Dmitri is still leaned up against the wall snoring.
I wake him.
Okay,
Ah!
I wake Milton.
okay,
And I go over and I knock on Camilla's door.
okay.
Knock
Okay.
again.
what is it?
I woke up in a dream. I had to wake myself up. The hotel was empty. I just wanted to make sure everyone was up.
Ugh.
Well, I'm going to be a little bit mad that you got to dream and I didn't.
I woke up, but Dmitri was asleep on the wall, like he had nodded off. I woke him and took over listening, and then the snoring stopped. So I decided to put on a robe and some slippers, go downstairs and check for a paper just to see if I could be downstairs when he left. And I go down there, and there was nobody at the desk. There was nothing going on. I immediately realized the possibility, and I stirred myself, and I woke up in the bed again.
What time is it? What time is it?
It's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Can we hear the snoring still?
Yes.
Okay.
We just have to be very wary of these things. I guess I'll take over the next shift.
That sounds for the best.
I'm sorry to have woken you.
No, it makes perfect sense. I'm going to set up the wards just in case.
Okay. All right.
As quietly as possible.
If you could set up the ward right outside his door, that'd be awesome.
I mean, it wakes the sleeper, so like...
Well, yeah. That's still perfect.
Actually, that's true. So I could just set up a ward, like, across his threshold.
Yeah, you could do
And then
that.
if he crosses it, then it'll wake us up.
You can do that, yeah.
Cool. I shall do that then.
Okay. All right. It's 6:48. Let's leave it there for right now.
Okay.
And then we'll...
Wow, a lot doing in this, and a very odd but entertaining integration of a new character.
Hopefully it wasn't too awkward for people. Or you, Tyler.
Well, I think we made some pretty good
No, it was
efforts.
pretty good. It was pretty seamless.
All right. Thank you for joining us for session 18.
The murmurs in the abyss become louder.
Thank you for joining us for session 18 of Murmurs at the Abyss, and we will see you in 2 weeks. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Ah.
Bye.
Bye.
Along the shore, the cloud waves break. The twin suns sink behind the lake, and the shadows lengthen in Carcosa. Strange is the night where black stars rise. Strange moons circle through the skies. Much stranger still is the lost Carcosa. Song of my soul, my voice is dead. Die thou unsung as tears unshed, shall dry and die in lost Carcosa.
Well, clear.